Hey everybody, as you can see, we have a special guest here for the Video Book Club this week, President Barack Obama. Let's give him a big hand. Of course, it's actually not the president, it's a fathead sticker attached to the door of the sunroom of my house, but there's a reason for this, I promise. The Video Book Club selection this week relates directly to the president. It's called Game Change by John Heilman and Mark Halpern, a couple of political reporters. This book has been a huge bestseller on the New York Times bestseller list this year. And as you can see, it is a pretty thick book. It's about 400 plus pages. And for a political junkie like me, this book is like candy, and it is not nearly long enough. It is a behind-the-scenes, peek behind the curtains look at everything that happened in the 2008 election. Actually, not everything, just the highlights. But that election was such a drama, and so many of us were so drawn into that drama that to see what actually happened behind the curtains is pretty cool. Very well sourced, and they explained at the beginning of the book how they sourced it, and feels like a pretty legitimate process to me. And having worked for a state governor many years ago, one of the things that always intrigued me was knowing what actually happened in the meetings, because I was in a lot of them, and then reading in the newspaper the next day what they said happened in the meeting. And it was quite different. And I think because of the sourcing that Heilman and Halpern have, and many of the principles in the election are sourced in the book on an anonymous basis, but they're sourced in the book, you get a feel for maybe really how it went down. And one of the things you realize in reading the book is that it is a pressure cooker to run for president. Now, I guess in a lot of ways we already knew that, but this book really demonstrates that, and it's a great leadership case study to see how leaders react under pressure, moment by moment almost, on certain days in the campaign. And there's quite a variation across the candidates. Obama, Clinton, actually both Clintons, Hillary and Bill, McCain, Palin, John Edwards plays a fairly major role in the book, and as he did in the campaign, and we all know what happened there. The reactions that they have to different pressurized situations and how they lead and manage their campaigns, it makes you think actually that running for president is pretty good preparation for being president in a lot of ways, because it's about managing a large, complex organization. I think the Obama campaign was probably one of the greatest startups in history. When you think about where he started from in 2006 to where he ended up in November of 2008, it's quite an operation, and it requires a lot of management skills and a lot of leadership skills. And that's illustrated in the book. The other candidates demonstrate varying degrees of leadership and management skills in the book, and I think in the end, the guy that won probably did the best job with his campaign. I mean, there's no doubt about that, right? I mean, the proof is in the pudding. Whoever wins usually has the best campaign. So if you are into leadership as a case study, if you're into politics, you have to read this book. If you're into both, this book is a must-read. Very entertaining. I devoured it in a week, and I'm actually pretty busy with my own book right now. This was my respite and entertainment from writing all the time myself on the second edition of The Next Level. Game Change by John Heilman and Mark Halpern. If you fit any of the categories I talked about, political junkie, leadership junkie, or both of those combined, you will really enjoy this book. Have a great week. See you next week.